is dangerous.
Commander MK Jibril MNM for consultancy say
no to drug abuse.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel titled Drug and You, where we educate the public on the dangers of drug abuse. Today we're going to bring you a topic that will educate the parents, educate the society as a whole on how to respond early to drug abuse behavior of our children. It is titled Early Signs of Drug Abuse. How can parents dictate the signs that their children are already into it? What are those signs in the children, in the drug user, an adult or a child for that matter, that will show his relations, his parents, the husbands, the wives, the family, the society as a whole, that this individual is already into drug abuse? How do you dictate these signs early enough so that you take action? We are going to tell you those things that you should look out for in a drug user, that you can now act early to help the child or the drug addict. The steps that parents need to take to guide their words early enough out of drug abuse are 5. First, possession of drug paraphernalia. When you start seeing your word, your child, your neighbor's child, that child from your neighborhood, going about with certain signs like the pipes used to smoke, the Rizla, that white foil paper they use in wrapping hemp, wee or igbo, you always see it with him, or you always see this child with syringes. When it's not a medical personnel, when it's not a doctor, why is he going with syringes, medical needles? Or you go into his room, your child's room, and you see ashtray. Even if you don't see ashes in it, but you see ashtray. Sometimes you see some bottles, which are nothing but beer bottles. You see excess of soft drink bottles, like Maltina bottle, like Lacasera bottle, so all the time, flooding his room all over. You see this child with a lot of plantain in his room. We see this. You see in this room pubs of cigarette pubs. That is that end of cigarette that is colored. It means that the main pipe had been smoked. It is the remaining pubs that he just threw away in the ashtray in his room. You find in this boy's drawer a lot of Tonton or sweets or chewing gum. When you don't know him with this habit before, this is first sign to tell you that for this boy to have Rizlas, wrapping papers in his room, what is he doing with them? Ask questions as a parent. What are you doing with Rizla? What are you doing with cigarette pubs in your room when you don't smoke cigar? Why are cigarette pubs in your room? What is ashtray doing in your room? What is unripe plantain, a lot of it, doing at a corner of your room? You say you don't take any drink, you don't even like soft drinks, but what is the entire Maltina doing in your room? Ask questions when you see some of these things. The next thing you should look out for when either a child is into drugs or not is his identification with drug subculture, the behavior of drug addicts. You start seeing this boy with drug magazines. If you are not at home and they are watching TV behind you, as soon as you come in, you see them changing the channel. You ask them to go back to the channel which they are watching before. You see that channel and it is this channel of this bad kind of films, foreign films that eulogizes. Or even if it's Nigerian films, there are some musicians now that eulogizes drug and drug abuse, singing gloriously about smoking of hemp, sniffing of cocaine. We have musicians who are indulged in that. And our children, some of our children are taking them as role models and they started imitating them. Is that the kind of film you came back and see them watching at your parlor? That boy is already worshiping, hero worshiping, erroneously worshiping drug addicts. He wants to behave like them. He wants to dress like them. That boy is into a culture of drug slogans. You see the shirts he wears. You see all sorts of things written on the shirt. Cocaine is sweet. Join me in hemp. I'm a high guy. All these joints and smoking or drinking or intoxicants slogans. Slogans used by those who are involved in drug abuse. Slogans that are not normal slogans to somebody who is in his right senses. He's already hero worshipping drug users. Even if he's not into it, he's admiring them and he wants to go into it. You find the kind of t-shirts you wear where they draw a human head with the skull of human being and teeth out. These are cultist dresses. That is what that child likes wearing these days. The handkerchiefs you hold, the type of caps you wear, have symbols of cultism. Dresses, pictures of cultists on it, and he's eulogizing them. Criminals that non-criminals in the society, he admires them. He wears shirts that bear their pictures. That child is going into drug abuse. That's your second step that you have just watched. The third step you watch in your child is when he really gets into drug subculture. What is that drug subculture the child is getting into? The teachers keep reporting to you that he's no more coming to school regularly. Perhaps when this boy leaves home that he's going to school, he just dash to a street corner with his friends, with his gang members who are taking drugs. And they spend the whole day there. When children start coming back home from school, he joins them. And you, the parents, you are deceived that your child has gone to school and come back. Until you find out, either from the diligent friends from your area or the teacher himself start reporting to you that we don't see your word in the school anymore. We don't see your child in the school anymore. You'll be shocked. Some parents, rather than taking it seriously, unfortunately, will think that that teacher is not being sincere. He just wanted to tarnish the image of their family. My child gets up every day and goes to school. He dresses up and goes to school and come back at closing hour. How can you say my child is not in school? You see some parents take the thing on a very negative way with teachers. No, the teacher is telling you the right thing. If your child is in the school, if he's no more a truant, the teacher has no reason to come and tell you that your child is a truant. So take it seriously. Try to find out yourself. How come? All of a sudden, the child becomes dishonest at home. He's not a trusted and truthful child, you know. He starts lying, he starts cheating. He becomes aggressive. A little thing is angry. He wants to insult everybody. He becomes disobedient, disrespectful at home. A child is so respectful, who is so obedient to everybody in the area before. People start reporting to you that the child fights everybody in the area, he insults everybody, both elders and younger ones alike. He's no more respectful of anybody. You as the parent, please take note and then start watching out your child. Take immediate action in getting a treatment for that. Contact experts. Contact drug counselors to have a look at this child for you. Work there with him or ask them to come to your home. They are ready to come to your home wherever it is. NDLA counselors are ready to go anywhere to assist you. Report to an expert, drug expert, to have a look at such child for you. Or the teacher reports to you that your child is performing so poorly in the class. Because some parents may not have time to look at the school report, academic report of their children. Or else if you monitor academic reports very well, a child who is already going into drugs, his reports start dwindling in the school. The reports start going down. The performance start going down. His scores in different subjects start going down. A child is so bright before and passed all his papers, he hardly passed maybe 2 out of 15 subjects, 2 out of 10 subjects, 2 out of 8 subjects or 7 subjects done in the class. He hardly crossed 2 now. When before he's one of the best, your child was one of the best in the class. All of a sudden, your child cannot become dull all of a sudden. Something is wrong. He's indulging in something else. That is why he's no more concentrating on studies. As a parent, take action. Take action immediately. Go to school. Go and find out from the teacher, how come my child is performing poorly in the school? How come his result is getting backward? You get to hear so many stories in the school about what your ward is doing or is not doing well. And that is why the result is going down. You, the parent, the moment you get into this realization, take action immediately. Contact drug experts. Like I told you, we have rehabilitation centers all over the country. We have drug counselors all over the area. In every major city now you can find them. And every NDLA formation in the country has a counseling unit. Contact them immediately. The fourth sign you can find out early enough that your child is involved in drug abuse and trafficking is physical body deterioration. The child is all of a sudden do not care anymore about his body. Is looking unkempt. His head looking rough. You find the lips dry all the time. You find the child emaciating. Your child is so rough. A child that's so neat before doesn't barb his head anymore, doesn't even care to comb the head. Maybe at worst he starts wearing what they call Bob Marley, dreadlocks. That child is already into full drug behavior, and even his physical body is showing you. He's talking to you and he's trembling. He's talking to you, he could not look at you in the face anymore. You call his name, you want to send him. As he's coming closer to you, he doesn't want to get so close. He stops at a distance. Daddy or mommy, here I am, sir. And he's not looking at you, he's looking at the ground. He doesn't want your eyes to meet with his eye. If you watch his eyes closely at that moment, those eyes are red. He doesn't even know what he was doing. He doesn't even know the location he is. He's just standing before you there physically. He's not there in spirit. His mind, his body is somewhere else. You may send him a message before he leaves the doormat of your house. He has forgotten what you sent him because he's not there with you. He's trembling when he's walking. He's staggering. Those are signs, physical signs to tell you that this boy is, or this girl is, into drugs. As he speaks with you, as he speaks to you, as he talks to you, his Lord, his speech. His speech is flowing. It's no more flowing. This child is struggling to get words out of his mouth. The voice becomes hoarse. Unnecessarily hoarse. He doesn't even want any discussion with anybody, so that he will not notice these things. Always keeping to himself quietly, attaching himself to only himself, always locked up in his room. He hardly wants to come out even if you want to send him. If you happen to be the privileged ones and you have a vehicle at home, you normally send him to the market to buy things, mommy sends him to the market to buy things, or you give him a car, you attach a car to him to use at his own leisure time or for his own activities. He's always coming back now with reports of accidents every day. As this boy steps out or drives out of the gate, he's hitting somebody else or jamming something else on the streets. He's no more coordinated on steering. Collect that car from him immediately if you don't want that car to take his life from you. Because the accident is involving him every day. It's not physically him. He's no more mentally himself. He's into drugs. And that is why he gets involved in accidents all the time. Anytime he's on wheel driving, he's not himself driving. Somebody is already on gear and the car is on gear. Who is riding who? If it is motorcycle, the same thing. He has a motorbike, he's an Okada rider, and you started seeing all these physical signs on him, behavioral signs on him. Paraphernalia, the first signs I told you about on him, take that motorcycle away from that rider. Because as he pulls that machine on gear, himself riding that machine is also on gear. So he's riding who? And that is why you find motorcycle accidents all over the place. That is why how you find car accidents by younger ones all over the place. Most of the accidents, needless accidents you find on our roads within the inner cities today, either by Okada riders or what you call motorcycle riders, or even private car owners, are related to the younger ones. Once you find a younger one indulging in such accidental activities, behaviors all the time, incidents of hitting here and there, he is into drugs. As a parent, as a guardian, as an elder within that community, if the parents or those people who are supposed to look after this child are not doing anything, you report to the authorities. Let something be done. on this child before he may involve in those unnecessary accidents and even hit somebody from your home. Never say, it's not my son. It is Mr. Jibrin's son. Is the one that releases his car to his children every time the accident concerns them? It doesn't concern you. When the accident happened, will you know who that child is going to hit on the street? That person may also lose his life, and this child may even survive. So it is not an issue of it doesn't concern me, it's not my child. It is everybody's child. It is because our cultures are gone. We no longer respect them. Or else, they say a child is a property of a community. So once you find one child within your neighborhood going astray, that issue of it's not my child. It's even criminal to say. Because that child belongs to all of you in the community, and action should be taken to correct such child. And the final action that will now convince you that that child is into drug abuse is when you find him with the drug itself. You just walk on him one day, open his room suddenly, and you find wraps of India hemp. You find pinches of cocaine. Or you say you never know all these things, so you can't identify them. What if you find bottles of beer or beers in itself in the room? You find so much bottles of lacasera and other ingredients in his room. Take action immediately. The drug itself you have seen now. It is no more, it is science, or you will argue, or I'm not into this, how can I take this? You have already seen the drug itself. That child has gone past the first stage where you say you only see him with Rizla or puffs of cigarettes. He has passed the second stage where we say he will dress haggardly, he will become unkempt. His behavior is more or less like somebody into drugs or culture, cultist behavior. He has gone past that stage. Now you have caught him red-handed with drug itself. No going back. He reports immediately to the experts on drug abuse prevention. Your immediate help will be NDLA again. They are those established to handle this. But outside them, we have voluntary organizations that are formed, organizations to help people out, to help the society out on prevention of drug abuse. Counselors are everywhere now. Immediately you find your child with the drug itself. It shouldn't tell you any story. There is no story that should bring drugs into his body if he is not involved. I'm keeping it for my friend. It was my friend that came to my house and dropped that on my table. I never knew anything about it. The fact that you have a friend that will even bring drug into your room and you tolerate it and he kept it on your table. You never ask him to take it away. You never send him out of your house. You never dissociate with that friend. To the extent that that part of the drug is kept in your room. It is a lie. He is also into it. Parents, guardians, the society as a whole. If you see these signs mentioned, these 5 signs in your ward, take immediate action for treatment and rehabilitation of that child. Take that child to drug experts and let treatment start immediately. Let counseling start immediately. And it goes beyond counseling and treatment, let him go for full rehabilitation. Or else you're going to lose your word to mental maladjustment. We will say, God forbid, it's not my portion. It is only when you take action that we know it's not your portion. It is only when you act that God himself will forbid for you. But if you overlook it and say, let it be, he's destroying himself, he doesn't hear a word, he's not my child. Under that situation, it's your portion. We pray that we had what we've said here, we have assimilated it, and we're going to work on it. We work on these 5 signs and symptoms of drug abuse from early stage of a child. Once we work on these signs, take action on them, we're going to have better society. Because our children, most of them do these things out of ignorance of the dangers of what they are doing. So the elders should help. We should help. Please like this our video, comment, share, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification icon below so that you don't miss our next updates. It will be very, very exciting and educative. See you in our next video. Bye.
Drug abuse is not good. Drug abuse is not good. Oh my, yeah.